It feels like I haven't made a video in this studio for ages. This tripod's at a really awkward height. Sometimes, look, if I just stand there like that, it looks like normal, right? I do that all the time. But if you look down, I've got bendy legs. I just bend my legs. It's like a human gimbal. I'm a big human. Hang on, let me just sort out this fucking tripod. I only ever use very cheap £15 tripods from Amazon. I don't know why. I'm unable to operate expensive tripods, so I just get these ones. Right, listen. I posted on YouTube, I was about to say last week, it's more like last month now, asking for questions from you for a Q&A. And you bloody delivered. Some brilliant questions. Thank you for that. So today is a Q&A that's just been instantly interrupted by my door. Hang on, let me just do this. Okay, that's a good question to start off with. What inspires my storytelling? I think it's weird, right? Because obviously my videos, every story I try and tell on my YouTube channel is attempting to be a story about real life. So like I said in the Egypt video, I'm trying to tell stories that are inspired by things that happen in my life or people that I know, family, friends, whatever. So that's what inspires my storytelling. In terms of like where I get my inspiration from, when I saw this question, it's weird because I get my inspiration from the weirdest little things. I could see like a little clip or a little piece of music. On that MacBook there, I've got a folder of videos. It's got like 100, just like 1 minute clip videos that I've collected over the past 10 years or so. And they're all random, but every one made me feel something in some way or another. So like, it might have made me excited or motivated, or it might have made me cry, whatever it is, and I save it because I'm inspired by that feeling. Not necessarily the style of the video, but the way it made me feel. And it's fucking random. Like I was looking at it the other day. I clicked on it, and the one I opened was the putting everything on a bagel scene in Everything Everywhere All at Once film. And the next video was Jane Woodall, like the environmental lady. I don't even know. Sorry, Jane. I don't know what you do. But she was just sitting there talking about monkeys and gorillas, and she was going ooh ooh, like talking in her monkey language. For whatever reason at the time that made me feel something, so it got saved. But yeah, I think the question you actually asked was what books I read, what films what films do I love any film written by Aaron Sorkin. So Social Network, Steve Jobs, love those films. Moneyball, did Aaron Sorkin write Moneyball? I think he did. Fucking what a film, Moneyball. And I think it's impossible to be British and grow up in the 90s and be into film and not be a little bit inspired by early Guy Ritchie films. I'm sure you can see in my videos, like I'm inspired by the edit of a Guy Ritchie film, the music, love that. It's weird. I was watching Goodfellas the other day for like the 400th time, and you can clearly see how Guy Ritchie was influenced himself by that early sort of Scorsese era. Goodfellas is probably my favourite film ever, to be honest. Like the one take scene when they get out of the car and walk through the back of the club, like the famous one take scene, is my favourite scene of any film ever, I think. I've always wanted to do that, man. Like do a video that doesn't cut at any point. I have to try that, man. Okay, what did I study? I quit everything I studied, so I feel like a fraud even saying this. I studied music production for a year, quit that. I studied architecture for I did architecture for a while, then I quit that. But no, I never studied film or anything like that. It's weird. When I work in a team of people, I can instantly tell like who studied filmmaking at college or university and who didn't, who was like self-taught. Not that there's like a one way or another, but like I can instantly tell. And what gear do I use? Okay, so this camera here is the one I'm using now. I'll just show you. It's the easiest way to show you. Is a Sony A7S III. You see that? Yeah. The mic's got a big furry thing on because I lost the normal thing about 2 years ago and I've never been able to find a new one, so I just whacked that on. And it's pretty good, it blocks the wind and shit. The mic is, everyone always asks me this in the comments, it's a Rode, that's going to get loud for you, a Rode Video Mic NTG. Brilliant mic, never had any complaints, used it for about 2 years. The lens, sorry, I'm really forgetting stuff. It's a Sigma 16 to 20. I'm really shit at knowing what equipment it is. It's a Sigma 16 to 28 2.8 lens. I don't think it's a great lens, but it's brilliant for me. And that is the only lens I ever use. That lens never comes off that camera, ever. Then I use this little thing. What is this called? Again, I'm going to struggle to tell you that unless I look. It's called a Mini 3 Pro. I'm sure you all knew that before I did. DJI drone with this remote. And the only reason I use that is because I'm not bothered about the drone shots being that good. And it's 249 grams, which I think means I can fly it in London or other cities. I don't actually know if that means I can fly that in London or other cities. But I do. And then finally, more and more, I use this. I use this in so many. In Egypt, so much of the shots in Egypt around the city, cutaways and stuff is like, I think someone's at my door, is shot on that. It's just getting better and better. Miley!
Hi.
This is so awkward. You never walk in when I'm filming.
I feel awkward because you're filming. I didn't know.
This is Marley. I'm doing the Q&A video.
No way. You just got that so long ago?
No, I know. I meant to do it fucking ages ago, but
just for like vlogging here.
yeah, I know. Okay, do you want to answer a question?
Should I?
No, there's actually one question that I was going to do next. Is what? Show us some stuff in your studio. Okay.
That's so fun.
Well, this is Marley. He's in my studio pretty much every day. You gorgeous kid. No, let me show you some stuff. Basically, when I first got this studio, this whole thing was supposed to be to organise all my stuff, and it's ended up just being everywhere we go in the world. It's like, well, let's grab that, put it on the shelf. So now it's just a collection of random shit from around the world. For some reason, we always collect coffee cups. Where's that from, babe?
That one's from Singapore.
Singapore. It's got like Asian writing on it.
Big greasy stinker.
Oh, mate, babe, don't. You're such a dick. This is the microphone that I used to film. I used to record voiceovers in my cinematic era.
This thing.
Oh my god, that's fish. This is like dried fish from the Norway video. Did you smell it?
I think they had it all hanging there.
When you go to Lufton in Norway, it's like hanging everywhere.
And it stinks.
This is coffee, also from Norway, that has got my name on it. And when we posted that on Instagram, some people replied and said, is that your new merch? But it's not.
That's so funny.
And this is my workbench. I bought this workbench from a school that closed down near where I grew up, and it's sick because, like, you know, when you're in like woodwork class and you used to like draw your name and shit on the workbench, so it's still got like kids.
Grab that hard drive, actually.
Yeah, sorry, you're interrupting my story.
Sorry.
It's there. I put them both on there if you already.
Thank you.
I need to get that stuff for dinner, don't I?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
All right, cool.
Sorry.
Are you going?
Yeah.
All right.
Go. I'll see you at home.
See you later.
Bye.
All right, I'll be back. Yeah, what I was saying, no, when you know when you're in CDT, woodwork class, and you draw your name, there's random names. This name here, it might say Nick, but it also potentially says Dick. But I love that. I love that workbench. And then finally, of course, last but not least, the famous iMac. It was on. I don't know why it's not on. This question, I'm not going to lie, this question, when I first saw it, kind of just scared me a little bit because it wasn't until I read the question. And I think like a few people asked this question in a different form, so I'll read one of them out. But yeah, I think as soon as I saw it, it made me realise that I don't have a process, which is going to sound mental, but I don't really have a formal process that I stick to. So yeah, I had to kind of think about it. Let me read the question, or one of the questions. This one's from College 305, and it says, what's your process for YouTube videos like? How do you go from idea to final video? Is there a big pre-production phase? Are the videos scripted? How much of the edit do you have planned before the shooting starts? Short answer, firstly, is there a big pre-production phase? There's no pre-production phase. Are they scripted? No, they're not scripted. And how much of the edit do I have worked out before I start shooting? None. But for any of that to make sense, I'm going to have to expand on it because, okay, I'm going to attempt to explain this. All the videos I make, all the stories, all the ideas that I come up with, they're basically conversations that I've been having with myself in my own head for the last fucking 40 years of my life. And the only difference, really, between the first 38 years of my life and the last 2 years of my life since I've been making videos, putting them on YouTube, is writing. And I don't mean like writing the scripts. I never used to write anything down before. And I think that just meant that the ideas would continue to bounce around in my head for eternity. So writing, journaling, scribbling down ideas when I have them enables me to like turn them into something. So what that means in terms of, so I'll give you an example. So I could be walking down the street. I could be in the shower. I could be on a plane and I would suddenly have a little idea. So, it's weird how I keep getting a drink of water and not drinking it. That's kind of like how I know how to meditate, but don't meditate. That's it. That's the idea at that stage, right? Like I don't dive any deeper. I'll scribble that down on my phone or my laptop or on a piece of paper. But because I wrote it down, I start to then have a conversation with myself and talk about that thing with myself in my own head for weeks, months, or however long before I then turn that into a video. So while they're not scripted, it's like I've thought about it and had the conversation with myself about it so many times that when I come to do it, I kind of know what to say. And the reason why there's no pre-production phase is because I think every single one of the videos on that thing, on that point of that thing, like it's at YouTube, we don't go to the places to make the videos. We make the videos whilst we're at a place doing something else. So for example, like Egypt, we landed in Cairo. We had no clue what I was going to make a video about, but I had been thinking and talking to myself and writing about the concept of how you need to live a good life to get great stories. Then we got there, then we met Sabrina's grandpa. He's 93, he's got all these stories, and all the dots just start connected. And it's only through writing about that stuff that when I get to a place, a story sort of comes into my head and I start working it out as I go. And the third part of that, about the editing, is that's why I like not knowing what I'm going to do, because I know, because I've got so much clarity on my thoughts about a certain topic. When I arrive at a place, I can be inspired by that place. And like in fucking Egypt, like I get there and I see all the Arabic writing everywhere. I'm like, oh, I'm going to use that in the edit. I'll use that in the title. I'll go to the market. I hear this type of music. I'm like, I'm 100% going to use that music. And it's like the thoughts that I had in my head connect with the experience that I'm in real life, and a story sort of comes together. I'm really sorry if none of I've just gone into like a blur, and I'm not even sure if any of that made sense. And if it didn't, I'm sorry, and I will make a whole video about my process in the future at some point. Let me just answer a few more questions because I've got to go soon. Hang on. So, where does the theme "this is a story about" come from? I hadn't actually seen that question. When I made the AI dopamine with the iMac, the first video with the iMac, 2 years ago, 18 months ago, however long ago that was, when I was editing it, it got to a certain point and I put some music in, and I started just putting shot after shot, and for some reason I added text and wrote "this is a story about," and then I've just done it ever since. What was the hardest story for you to tell from an emotional perspective? Yeah, that's a great question, Paul. Anything about my family, man. When I talk about my family and my loved ones, that's always difficult to do. But on a serious note, like, that is why I do this. Like, I think it's really important to talk about that stuff. It's stuff that you think no one else is going through, but by the very nature of how humans live, every fucking person on the planet is going through it at some point. So it kind of connects with people. It's hard, but it's worth it. I would read people's names out. I'm so bad at reading people's names on YouTube because they're always so weird. Any suggestions for those who want to follow their dreams? Yeah, stop putting it off. I've put off too many dreams for too long. One piece of advice for other creatives. I think try and make something that means something to you. That's what I try and do. Try and get it to communicate a thought that you've got that means something to you. Ketchup or brown sauce? Ketchup. I don't think I've ever even tried brown sauce. What do you do for a living? No, I'm joking. I started my own production company in 2016 called There's This Place, which I'm currently completely, I'm building something new. We are building something new, which I will make a full video. It's not ready. I'll make a full video about it when it's ready. How do you manage to stay detached from the results of what you make from a YouTube perspective, views, analytics, etc.? So when I saw that question, basically saying, why do you keep on making videos when you're not getting any bloody views? It's such a multifaceted question, that is, because, well, firstly, I was making videos when I was getting 100 views, so getting a few thousand views is progress for me. But then secondly, like, this is hard to explain. It's kind of a choice in a way, because by that I mean, I know that if I made videos like the stop pouring, start drinking video, I know how to make that video. I know how to make that video over and over again. I could just keep on making videos like that. I know that they're going to get more views than other videos. I read a quote the other day. It's in Seth Godin's new book. Going back to an earlier question, Seth Godin, that's who I read. And the quote was, it doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're going the wrong way. And that's how I see it. Like, I could make a video like that every week, but I'm not always feeling videos like that. Sometimes I want to make a fast, excited, motivational style video. Other times I just want to make a video about a fucking kite, which I've just done. Yeah. So I understand that certain videos aren't going to get views like the others are. And to be honest, I will say this, like, I put that kite video out last week, it got a couple of thousand views, but I got a couple of messages from people that really deep messages that resonated, saying that it resonated with them and, you know, it connected with them. And a message like that from a video that gets a couple of thousand views, to me, is worth infinitely more than 1,000 comments on a video saying, sick edit, bro. Sorry, if you comment saying, I appreciate you saying it's sick edit, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, you get what I'm saying. What's the grind like from, oh mate, I've got to go actually. Hang on, I'll read that question out as we're leaving. I've got to go, let me just finish my coffee. What's the grind like from hitting record button to the final upload? How many hours of blood, sweat and editing goes into actually take you to drop a video? Okay, we're going to answer that. We're going to answer that on the way out. I've got to go. Sabrina's told me that I have to leave. Our dinner's ready. So, I mean, I guess the short answer to that is it depends. Like sometimes I can literally get stuck on an edit, not necessarily because it's complicated, but because, I don't know, I'll just procrastinate on it and get stuck on a certain part. And it can take me weeks. Like, even a short video can end up taking weeks to edit. Whereas other times, like the marathon video, for example, we shot that obviously in one day because it was the day of the marathon. And then I think we edited that in one day. So we shot and edited that all in the space of like 48 hours. Which is crazy, but to be honest, I've been thinking about this recently. I need to start creating stuff where I'm going to be able to do that. Like where I'm going to be able to get a quicker turnaround from like the idea to having it finished, because I enjoy it more. Like if I take ages, I kind of go off the idea, or not even necessarily go off it, but I get to the point where I don't even know whether it's good anymore, and I don't even know whether it's what I set out to do. Where if it's a quick thing, if I have an idea, I film it, and then I edit it straight away, and then just upload it. It's kind of out there, and it's like done, and it just feels way better than, I don't know. I'm just a procrastinator. That's just the reality of it. I'm just a procrastinator. Hello.
No picture, you might.
Okay, sorry.
No picture.
Okay, sorry, mate. Yeah. Let me just grab this stuff. Let me just grab what I'm buying. Yeah, that is a great question. Hang on, let me just whack this down quick. I've got to I just do those same things. Yeah, so great question. And as you can see, people sometimes don't like it. People don't like you filming them or filming in places where you are. Listen, I think that when I first started making YouTube videos, when I literally first started filming, what I was doing at first was like filming inside and then trying to mix it with other footage, but it just didn't feel right. I love the feeling of like filming and doing whatever I'm doing amongst like real people and amongst people doing stuff in their real life. So I just had to do it. But as you just seen, yes, some people hate it. Some people get pissed off with you. Some people are going to tell you to stop filming. I'll tell you what, some people laugh at you and take the piss out of you. Not some people, it happens all the time. But the reality is, if you really want to do it and you really want to make that and the style of your videos, then who gives a